Do you rent water purifiers to end customers? What do you tell your customers when they ask you what the difference is between a reverse osmosis filtration system and an ultrafiltration system? It's very important that you can give a concise answer to your end customers to make a good impression and show that you are a true professional. This is Fabio Tessi, and in this video I want to explain how to respond appropriately in case one of your end customers asks you this question. But first, let's take a step back, because it's important that you know how to answer this question, which may seem trivial, simple and obvious. It might be for you who are in the industry, but it is not for the end customers. So if you don't know how to give a precise, concise and clear answer to a question that might be like this. So the difference between reverse osmosis filtration system and ultrafiltration system, you risk not making a great impression in front of the customers. And if you have sales agents, salespeople, they too must know how to handle this response at a high level in order to give an excellent impression of your brand and consequently bring home as many contracts as possible. Okay, so in this video now we are going to outline the scientific explanation of the two filtration systems and their difference. Let's start with reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis uses a semi-permeable membrane to filter water, which is capable of separating substances dissolved in the water, such as minerals, chemicals, and contaminants. Therefore, the reverse osmosis filtration system makes the water absolutely pure. Ultrafiltration, on the other hand, is a mechanical filtration system that uses a membrane with a porosity of about 0.025 microns. So this allows for filtering out all the solid parts found in the water, but not the dissolved ones. So while reverse osmosis also acts to stop dissolved substances in the water, such as minerals, for example, the ultrafiltration cannot stop dissolved substances, but it stops at solid substances. So, for example, minerals are not stopped and filtered by the ultrafiltration system. But what does all this mean for your end customers? Well, you need to make a distinction, because if your end customers ask you for a type of water that is completely pure and also free of mineral salts, so in addition to being free of contaminants and so on, therefore free of solid particles and dissolved particles in the water, then it makes sense to recommend reverse osmosis as filtration. If instead your customers prefer to retain the natural minerals found in the water and the various solid parts, and by eliminating only the contaminants, then it makes sense to propose an ultrafiltration system to them. So let's make a very brief summary and understand all the advantages of reverse osmosis first, and then all the advantages of ultrafiltration afterwards. Let's start with reverse osmosis. So advantage number one is that it eliminates all dissolved substances in the water, such as mineral salts, fluorides, heavy metals, pesticides, and all other unwanted substances that are dissolved in the water. Then we move on to advantage number two, which is that it is perfect for those who love absolutely pure water. So completely pure, but also light. Let's put it this way, on the palate, so when it is drunk. If your clients love a light water to, let's say, swallow, reverse osmosis is extremely light, so it might be what works for them. The third advantage of reverse osmosis is that it is extremely useful in areas where the tap water, let's say, is questionable, or in any case, your clients might have doubts about the quality of the tap water. So if they don't know exactly what the purification level of the tap water is, reverse osmosis can remove every single doubt for your clients, because they have the guarantee of receiving water from the tap or the dispenser. 100% pure. Now let's move on to the advantages of the ultrafiltration system. The first advantage is that it retains the natural minerals in the water. So unlike reverse osmosis, which filters and blocks even the minerals in the water, the ultrafiltration system retains them. Therefore, if you have a client who wants to keep the natural minerals found in the water, then the ultrafiltration system is the right choice for them. Advantage number two of ultrafiltration is that it does not require a storage tank. Some reverse osmosis systems, not all, but some reverse osmosis systems need a tank to store the filtered water, whereas in this case with ultrafiltration, it does not. The water is directly filtered from the moment it enters the ultrafiltration filter until it exits ready to be consumed. Advantage number 4 of ultrafiltration is that it does not require any drainage. So, while reverse osmosis has a certain percentage of water waste, ultrafiltration absolutely does not. So it does not need a drain. So this means that your customer will not have to modify the kitchen or install new systems to drain the water, but rather they can, let's say, drink all the water that passes through the ultrafiltration filter. Let's now move on to what could be an economic consideration you can present to your customer, obviously without going into the details of rental fees or prices, because those are yours, you decide for your customers. But on a macroscopic level, let's say the economic difference, you can divide it like this. The reverse osmosis system, of course, has an initial cost that may be a bit higher compared to ultrafiltration. However, in the long run, a reverse osmosis system requires less maintenance because the membranes last longer, while an ultrafiltration system may require a slightly lower investment at the beginning or at the time of installation. Obviously, the ultrafiltration filter needs to be replaced a bit more frequently during, for example, a year of use. So this then translates into potential expenses, either for the end customer or interventions on your part. So these are the two economic conditions that distinguish the reverse osmosis system from an ultrafiltration system. So to conclude this video, if you want to stand out from the competition and want to convince customers to subscribe to your rental plan or purchase your water purifier, go in depth and explain to them the benefits and differences, just as I did today in this video about the two systems. So don't just tell them this is ultrafiltration and this is reverse osmosis. Or because often the end customer is not fully aware, they don't know what the real differences are and especially the true benefits. So try to explain the difference in a simple way so that they can understand it and grasp the value on their own. This way, the customer can reach a conclusion independently, without too much persuasion needed from you. We have reached the end of this video. If you found it useful, I invite you to follow the Onnwater YouTube channel. I encourage you to click the subscribe button to subscribe and click the bell button to receive notifications every time a new video is released. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.